I just wanna see my enemies fall. Yeah. Hey, look, I just wanna bow. Told my niggas stand tall, cause we about to go and get it out. Nigga, I just wanna bow. Look at them 20s where they crawl. I've been praying that my enemies fall. Nigga, I just wanna bow. Hey. And I hope you bow too. And that be why I gotta keep it true. Nigga, I just wanna bow. Hey. Just give me what I'm due. Let my enemies see the living proof, Lord. I just wanna bow. Trying to build my own city, homie. Enough room to put my niggas on it. Just start a couple business on it. Fuck any heathen never shitting on me. Yeah. Public housing we done lived through. Trying to put that in my rear view. Gold rolls, what I still do. I can see the picture with a clear view. Gotta separate the snakes. And all you fuck niggas that's gon' hate. Daily pray to God I don't catch another case. But that's a small risk that I feel I gotta take. Only certain niggas, they gon' feel this. Still deliver verses on that real shit. If I get a couple million, I'ma bust this shit down with these children. I just wanna bow. Told my niggas stand tall, cause we about to go and get it out. Nigga, I just wanna bow. Look at them 20s where they crawl. I've been praying that my enemies fall. Nigga, I just wanna bow. And I hope you bow too. And that be why I gotta keep it true. Nigga, I just wanna bow. Hey. Just give me what I'm due. Let my enemies see the living proof, Lord. I just wanna bow. Hey. Yo, get up out of bounds, homie. Got killers with them rounds on them. Look like I'm fed from the drum. Look, don't make me make the reaper rain down on them. I can give a fuck if you rock blue. And I was Sue Woo from the Fruittown crew. Cops still shoot us every time we move. They hate you, nigga, like they hate me too. Just know that brotherhood is a weapon. Build another zone, get protected. Too many sisters in the city been molested. Now I'm stacking soldiers off the block like it's Tetris. Woo. Know that truth, it give you chills, don't it? Steady ringing in your ears, won't it? If I'm blessed to make a meal, I'ma bust that shit down with my real homies. I just wanna bow. Told my niggas stand tall, cause we about to go and get it out. Nigga, I just wanna bow. Look at them 20s where they crawl. I've been praying that my enemies fall. Nigga, I just wanna bow. And I hope you bow too. And that be why I gotta keep it true. Nigga, I just wanna bow. Hey. Just give me what I'm due. Let my enemies see the living proof, Lord. I just wanna bow. Hey. Yeah. To all them children that grew up with parents strung out on drugs. Yeah. I just wanna bow. Hope you do too. And I hope you do too. Yeah. Man, to the brother that had a real and she left him for whatever reason. Yeah. I just wanna bow. I hope you do too. And to the sister, you know what I'm saying, that had that nigga leaving. Yeah, yeah. Nigga, I just wanna bow. To my niggas that's locked up. I hope you do too. Man, I hope you niggas see the light of day. Yeah, I just wanna bow. Yeah, I just wanna bow.
Alright, Shalom Israel. Welcome again to another ISUPK Wednesday night law class. My name is Priest and Officer 500 Kayadwan from ISUPK Jamaica, under commanding General YAHANNA. I say Yahweh Ba'asham Yawashai Barakatham to my brothers. Yahweh Shamar Alathan Ba'asham Yawashai to my sisters. You know what I mean? For those who don't know about UPK, you know what I mean? The UPK started 1969. That was when, you know what I mean, the truth was given back to blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians as to who we really are. You know what I mean? We lost our identity, you know what I mean, for quite some time, as the Bible says. As a matter of fact, we ever read a scripture there. See? And in 1969, the Most High decided to start bring us back to who we are. You know what I mean? This is a spiritual thing. This happened to nobody else but God's chosen people. That's in the Bible. You know what I mean? The Christian church failed our people, you know what I mean, and failed us because they simply wasn't about our people. You know what I mean? They were the tool that helped to keep us lost as a people. You understand that the tool that the white man gave us, See, to help keep us lost. And many of our people today are still lost in Christianity, never coming to the understanding of what the Bible is really talking about, looking at the words, you know what I mean, and never knowing that these words are speaking directly to them and nobody else. You understand? So let me just read a scripture there, quick and fast, and then we jump straight into the topic. See, we'll jump to Jeremiah 17:4, and during the time of Jeremiah, we were going into the Babylonian captivity. You know what I mean? But while in the Babylonian captivity, we still knew who we were. You know what I mean? All I was supposed to know about the 3 Hebrew boys. You know what I mean? Daniel. You know what I mean? That was the Babylonian captivity. You know what I mean? They knew that they were Israelites and they knew that they should eat from the table of the Babylonians, because the Babylonians eat swine and all sort of unclean meat. You know what I mean? But the Most High protected them. So we as a nation during that captivity, we knew who we were. Throughout the Assyrian captivity, we knew who we were. You know what I mean? Throughout the Grecian captivity, that was when the white man came on the scene. Well, before him was the Persians. You know what I mean? Just do the history. Anybody who like history can do the history and know that these are the kingdoms that rule earth. You know what I mean? In time past. You know what I mean? All of them recorded in the Bible. You understand? So if somebody I tell us, say, yo, the Bible is a made up on it, and I say, nah. They have to come stronger than that. Because all of them things that are historical recorded in our scripture. So you have the Babylonian. They were the world power at the time with Nebuchadnezzar. You know what I mean? Then you have the Persians. You know what I mean? If you watch the show, the movie 300, them depict when name Ramses, not Ramses, when name Xerxes, are, you know what I mean, in the Apocrypha pronounced a different word, a different way. See, them depict him as this effeminate, tall, you know what I mean, man with jewelry. If you know the movie 300, see, when that wasn't accurate, them just, all right, we are going to find out about the white man is, you see, people who were respectable people, the white man depict them in a negative light, and people who were the real, you know what I mean, dishonorable bastards, preferably them own people, them depict them, you know what I mean, as if they are the heroes. So Xerxes was depicted in the movie 300 as being an LGBT, you know what I mean, tall, giant-like figure. And you know what I mean? That wasn't the case. Xerxes was one of the kings in Persia. Persia is Iran today. You understand? Who gave us the opportunity to build back with temple and build back with nation. Even though we were captive, they were the one that enslaved us still, you know. And we not beat them up, I hear them. But we just give our history lessons in. The Persians were the one that enslaved us. They conquered the nation that enslaved us, which were the Babylonians. The Babylonians enslaved us. See? Babylonians were the world power. Them ruled for like about 70 years. You understand? Then the Persians, the Medes and the Persians came and destroyed the Babylonian. So in essence, they, what do I call it now? They inherited us because we were slaves to the Babylonians. You understand? But them never deal with me like how the Babylonians deal with me. Them just deal with like regular, you know what I mean, subjects like, all right, you're beneath us, we conquer, you know what I mean? Yo, everybody, we in charge. See? So we were able, except for one, we call him now Amalekite, which would be a Jewish man today named Aman or Anan or something like that, who wanted to convince Xerxes or one of them to eradicate us completely. You know, and that would be a Jewish man today, white man, see? Which eventually he was the one that got unalived because he was exposed. You understand? So Xerxes was, you know what I mean, was with a Persian, gave us the opportunity to build back what the Babylonians them destroyed. You understand? Then after the Persians came the white man, the Greeks. Oh gosh, man, the worst captivity, one of the worst captivities. The Greeks them decide, say, We can't be no Israelite no more. You have to be Greeks. You read that in the book of 1st and 2nd Maccabees. You understand? Them bring in the Olympics. You understand? Sports where you have to wear them have this. The Greeks are where you get the Jewish yarmulke. You understand? Because them are the same people, you know. You know what I mean? The Jewish man is just white people. See? Now the yarmulke, the little thing that them wear on the top of them head, the little hat there, come from the Greeks. See? Them used to force everybody to wear it. That was their fashion and style back then. You know what I mean? Them build gyms for exercise. You know what I mean? Them realize, oh, them Israelites are strong. We can put them in the coliseums. We can make them run and do sports and rotate there. So sports come in. See? It come from the Greeks. They build the Olympics. Olympia is one of them gods where them worship. You understand? So watch what them do now. Boom. Them say we can't serve God no more. We have to be Greeks. You understand? And we have to sacrifice swine flesh on the altar. You know what I mean? Defiling the altar that caused a civil war. Not just a civil war. It caused a war where the Maccabeans, which is where the word Maccabee come from. Maccabee mean, or Maccabea in the Hebrew is hammer. You know what I mean? The father, what's his name again? I forget his name. And his sons them start a rebellion against the Greeks. You understand? And them unalive enough Greeks and have unalive some Israelites too, because some Israelites were down with the Greeks. You understand? And them fight a guerrilla warfare for years against the Greeks and keep off the Greeks, them and keep them off so long, you know what I mean? Up until the Roman Empire. The Romans were another set of white people who defeated the Greeks. Now the Romans came now like, okay, we are not as terrible as the Greeks. We are more diplomatic and diplomacy. That is where diplomacy and them things that come from. America copy Rome, see? And them do them thing through the Senate and laws and all them thing there. Make it seem like they're more civilized than the Greeks when they were worse than the Greeks. You understand? They were completely, but we started losing our identity during the time of the Greeks because the Greeks implemented something that forced us to stop practice of culture, become Greeks, put we in arenas for the sports and Olympics and all them thing there. The Romans take it over, you know what I mean? Them pretended for a while like, oh, them was with us. We, the Maccabean brothers, you know what I mean, after them father did and thing, sign a treaty or sign a covenant with the Romans, which end up being our demise. All right, so our King Yahushua came in the time of the Romans. By the time Christ come on the earth, Yahushua, the Romans were oppressing us. Because white people do what white people do. See? And then now Christ came and him that heal a lot of sick and, you know what I mean, bring back some hope in our heart because at that point we were completely destroyed as a people. See? Then now Christ him get crucified because that's the mission. That's the mission. That's what he was sent to do. You know what I mean? Teach us to live righteous so that them things don't happen to we again. See? He was unalived, you know what I mean? After it was unalived, the message starts spread. You know what I mean? The Romans now, being the devil that they are, what you call it now? Bridge the current there because them said the whole kingdom will go up in a array because everybody have followed the teaching of Christ. You understand? All of the Israelites, them are believing in Christ now. So it hard for them hold with them. See? So what them do? Them say, we follow Christ too. We follow Christ too. What you talk about? As a matter of fact, we are disciples of Christ. And them build the Catholic Church, the Roman Catholic Church. And them say, all right, we are the authority of Christ. We serve Christ as Lord and say, as a matter of fact, him is God himself. You understand? And who don't serve Christ, I go get unalive. Meanwhile, we know that them now have nothing to do with our thing. But them bridge it now way for kind of save them kingdom. It never works still. Anyway, them eventually invaded Jerusalem, overthrew Jerusalem. Christ did don't leave with a message say, yo, when you see Jerusalem compassed with armies, flee into the wilderness. So we fled into Africa because that's where the wilderness were fleeing to the mountains. See, many of us fled into the mountains, many of us didn't. Who did not flee into the mountains became slaves. You understand? Who fled into the mountains, end up of it down in Africa, try, you know what I mean? Them survive slavery, them never go into slavery, but them eventually find them way and populate some parts of Africa gradually. So them start from the north down to the Sahara Desert, then eventually make our way to, you know what I mean, the west coast of Africa. You know what I mean? We were trading back and forth with some other Israelites, not just Israelites, but Arabs, you know what I mean, Africans, everybody who we have to deal with in Africa. You know what I mean? Many of the Israelites, them populated some parts of Europe, and the Roman Empire eventually fell, you know what I mean? And some part of Europe was up for grab, war and thing. Remember, time is not just from A to B, gradual. So we end up rule England, we end up rule Scotland, you know what I mean? Somehow we did there in Spain, we were doing trade with each other who in Africa and all them things there. Time passed, time elapsed, time passed. Many of we didn't even know so we are Israelite. Because we out of our homeland. Somehow we did. So we end up on the west coast of Africa now. We are doing well because we're better than everybody else. We are God's chosen people. We're naturally better than everybody. You understand? Africans, them never too love that. You understand? The same white man will destroy Jerusalem. Now, the Roman Catholic Church, they were dead. The Roman Catholic Church, I think them say the longest, oldest institution on earth. Correct me if I'm wrong. But the Roman Catholic Church is almost 2,000 years old. From the time when them sacked Jerusalem to now. You know what I mean? So watch this now. Boom. The Pope at the time, during about the 1400s, thereabout. See? I jump to kind of go to the context. See? By the 1400s, him give a decree that, you know what I mean, anybody, any European nation can enslave non-Christian nations. When in reality, I just we him that target. You understand? In reality, I just we him that target. So guess what going on now? Remember the African, enough of the Africans them weren't Christian neither, you know. See? We became Muslim, became all sort of things because we were blending. Some of us just, you know what I mean, just start following religion because like how we follow Christianity today. You know what I mean? So deals were being made. As them come over here, them discover that with the 10 tribes them over here too. 10 tribes them oblivious to what go on because them been over here for so long. Yeah, them do 1 and 2 trade with over the, you know what I mean, the old world because the West, Middle East and them are the old world. These are the new world. Them come from over the old world, but 2,000 odd years prior, them over here live, them over here build kingdoms, them over here do all sort of things, a war with each other too. You know what I mean? When them see the white man now, many of them never even see a white man yet. Them welcome them with open arms, not knowing what kind of monster this them are welcoming. You understand? Now the white man see how kind and friendly the Hispanics and the Native Indians were. Him go back and report to, you know what I mean, him authorities them in Spain that are Christopher Columbus and them. See him say, yo, them people are so kind and, you know what I mean, peaceful. You know, and them fit for slavery. You understand? So that slave trade them start oppressed and alive. You know what I mean? Our brothers, them, the Hispanics over here, never willing for work because they must say, you can't come and slave me upon my own land. So enough of them commit suicide, enough of them died through, you know what I mean, biological warfare, you know what I mean? Some of them died through just downright massacre. You understand? Get slaughtered. They have this one story where, you know what I mean, one of our sister, them, a Hispanic sister, she was so beautiful that the Spanish army, you know what I mean, many in the Spanish army that fight for her, she was pretty. And what the captain did was him dismember because him no want it cause a mutiny in him army. Cut off our breast them and slaughter and one bag of thing. See? Anyway, boom. Them sister yo, them care too, them not benefit off of the slavery of the Hispanics. So them send for we now. Now here comes the Africans them during the 1600s now. You understand? Them start arms up the African them now with guns and all them thing there. You know what I mean? Who started first? I think probably either Portuguese or the French or they are Spanish. See? The African them glad for the guns, glad for the opportunity to get way out of them land. So them start catch you by tribes now. So who live over there, so them round up. Because them know we, you know, them know say, yo, brethren, like just like how you know say. You know what I mean? Some people different from you. Them know say we different from them. To anybody we always attack, say, oh boy, oh you can tell, bro. Them know the culture, the language are different. Everything are different. You understand? So when the Africans them start, you know, them start utilize them the guns and all them thing there. Start raid villages, raid cities. You know what I mean? And then it eventually turn into an industry, a trade. Because now we know being over here in our new land, we more willing to work out of fear. We don't have no patriotism to them land. So we work because of fear. We plant them cotton and pick them cotton. We cut them sugar cane and the slave trade continue. But like we always are telling you, this was not no slave capture, this was a slave trade because it was the Africans them who were catching us, you know what I mean, and rounding us up. It wasn't the white man. All right, and we now, don't get me wrong, the white man and the devil the Bible speak of. We just want, especially here in Jamaica, Jamaica have this romanticization of African where it need to stop more than anywhere else on earth. Jamaicans tie themselves with Africans, not knowing that if it wasn't for the Africans, them you wouldn't be in slavery. You understand? So that's why you see me continue to classes and this and break it down. It's not that the white man are the devil. The white man are the biggest devil, but we have the Africans them by our side as if we are them when them was in cahoots with the white man. And Jamaicans really, so much so that we minister of what's your name, gender and culture, dress like an African, go down a garden and even she get tricked. Or who knows, maybe she know better. We yet for fight, we soon know what go on still, you know. We soon know who know and who no know. You understand? Because we know that there's a big conspiracy going on. We want we to be them people here. When are them people are selling in slavery. You understand? We soon know what go on, man. No worry yourself. But for now, yeah man, this is an important thing what we have to teach. Because the Rastafari community, the Pan-African community, and all the black community them convince what people say them are African. That have to stop. You understand? So what we are going to do now, we're going to talk about this. Give me a second. Phone battery I can't there now. I can't see the screen and the thing battery won't even there. Anyway, so what we are going to talk about now is the reparations, right? And you see Ghana. Right now you have Ghana, a champion the cause for reparation. Now, I will step back a couple years now. Mike Henry, I don't know if he's still alive, that Minister of Transport in the JLP, right? Remember a couple years ago, him say, him a petition, him a champion the cause for reparation for black people in Jamaica. That devil, the white man. His name Mike Henry. See? And film cost when want the British for pay is $4 billion. Can you, Bridget, I can't make up this. I don't remember how much year exactly ago this is. The man said $4 billion. The man round off with slavery to $4 billion. Let me tell you something. You see if him did ever successful in that, just know say that would have come like the Melissa money. You see how everybody a ball about the $1.2 billion we're missing out of the Melissa money? I see him so that it have vanished. So, I say that for say this to our people, black people here in Jamaica. Don't be naive. Don't be silly. You see them politicians here campaign for reparation and rare. You now see a red center that in a bridge. No waste your time. I bet you go on, you know what I mean, try find out who you is and wait for the most I give your reparation. You now see a dollar. I just another hustle. It's just another hustle off of your back. You understand? You're there, you work on a slave and a build the economy and you don't see how the economy have grow. Because you're poor and you get poorer and poorer and poorer and poorer as the economy grows. They might build the economy off of your back. You don't benefit from the economy. The economy is as an expense, you know what I mean, of you. When the Jamaican economy grow, it have to get it fat from somewhere, and your fat or your blood it a drink, and your sweat or your tears. That is how the Jamaican economy grow, through your blood, sweat, and tears. And your tears are the most important thing. You understand? That's why the economy grow and you shrink. Now, another hustle upon the agenda. Reparations. Yeah. We deserve reparations. As a matter of fact, this is the cost of one for reparation. But I'm telling you, now see it. You never see that where you ever get reparation money. You ever get reparation money in a stimulus check? Oh, all right. So them have a petition Britain or King Charles reparation, which them now go ever give. Why? Let me explain, and then I'll come back to my point, if you remember. See? If them give the reparations, then it will cause a snowball effect, where no other territories are going to want for them reparation from the same Britain. Same Britain enslaved so many different colonies. You'd have a saying back in the past, the sun never sets on the British Empire. You know what that means? That means the British Empire is so vast, no matter which part in the world you're there, on earth, the sun always in the sky over a British colony. That is how many countries Britain enslaved. You understand? So, if them give Jamaica reparations, they might forget give Trinidad reparations, they might forget give Barbados reparations. And that will cause a snowball that will never happen. You understand? That will never happen. Take your mind off it. And say, for example, them work out some trick, some scam, where them sell you down the river for some money. Just know, say, you now see a red center that to get more reparation. Take your mind off it. Take your mind. If you understand how the world work, I understand who the oppressor is, Virgin, you would take your mind off it. We see some Rastafarian about, and I talk about, yeah man, we are champion for begging. That's begging. Stop it. That go to show that the Rastafari community don't have no answer. The Rastafari community don't have the answers to black people, because how is it that you go beg for reparation from the person who benefited the most out of your slavery? What kind of leader beg? A leader will beg, you know. We sell out in people, you know. A leader that begs, especially beg with oppressor, we sell we out, brother. Without a shadow of a doubt, brethren. We sell we out, sell we down the river. Because them are beggars, them are not leader, them are beggar. And you can't beg for freedom. You have to take freedom. You understand? You have to fight for freedom. Or if you have a leader and a movement where the answer is we are going to beg the oppressor we in slavery for pay away. The slave master, them when they own the plantation, them never did have to beg for the reparation. Them get reparations. If you want to understand whether oppressor mind there, him pay reparations to the slave masters and not the slave. And up until 2015, they were still paying reparations to the children of plantation owners. We show you that it's not about who were physically in slavery, because that them like to tell you, say, them never physically enslaved you and you weren't physically enslaved. Meanwhile, they were paying children of slave masters who wasn't physically slave owners. And them pay four parents were, and them did a benefit. So the oppressor, in a fee mind, you not get nothing. But the slave masters, them will get. Why? Because the slave masters bring value to them. What kind of value the slave bring to the slave master? No value except your work and your sweat and your tears. The blood, your sweat, and your tears are the value. And if him should ever pay you reparations, as I say, the entire plantations, them are going to uproar and want for them on. So now it's supposed to make sense to say that now that ever happen. See? All right, what we're going to do now, we are going to show you a stunt with Ghana. Ghana pull a stunt. See? Where them try hijack the Juneteenth. Black people in America know about Juneteenth, June the 19th, right? I don't remember the exact year. That was when black people was free. I think at 18. Hold on. When was June the 19th, 1865, right? That is Juneteenth. Black people in America celebrate Juneteenth, right? As the day of freedom for black people in America. You understand? No, what the Ghanaian them do, and when you see the Africans them pull them little stunt here, just know that them pull them stunt here because them insensitive to your pain. You see, when you hear about slavery, you say, no, why would people go treat it rough, you know? Why, may I tell you, see, I tell you, rough, you know, when I remember slavery, it make me hungry, you know, star, rare. When the Africans, them hear about slavery, them don't feel it. It's more like, oh, okay, all right. Because them never went through it. You understand? You have to understand them things so you can differentiate between you and them. Them insensitive to your pain because them never go through it. As a matter of fact, them put you through it. So when the Ghanaians them do a reenactment for Juneteenth, that was insensitive to what black Americans meant by Juneteenth. Juneteenth was a day of freedom, and them their commemoration for Juneteenth, the Ghanaians, was to reenact the slave trade, which is completely opposite of what the spirit of Juneteenth is all about. Let me play this. In the meanwhile, everybody tap up the screen, like, follow, share, subscribe, depending on the platform you're watching on. You understand? We just a stream from one, you know what I mean, one TikTok to the one of the phone them. You know what I mean? It make nice, but you can't see nothing on the screen broke. See? All right. We'll play this.
But he never fought the white man. So why is he intense in the white man's war? Our daughter is full of mischief and quantities and lead me on.
Our voices were fragmented for decades.
On our own time, you can go over YouTube and look on it. And I'm say, If you want to know somebody were guilty, if you want to find a murderer, observe them. See? All right, so the whole scenery is some politicians and dignitaries are walk about. Meanwhile, people are reenact in front of them, right in front of them, at them foot a ball in a chains. That are them commemoration for Juneteenth. You know, I can't show it on TikTok, but go and go watch it on your own time. See? Them a walk casually, a walk through and observe and just want to the picture with me I say, you know. Saying, and people in a slave apparel, a ball and a beg, please, mercy, Africans are reenact what we went through. Saying, but me I try explain to you the scenery. The politician them well dressed, the African politician them and dignity well dressed, I walk past this reenactment, I walk through it. So it would have seemed like at them the slave them a beg. It would have make more sense if them did sit down in a them chair and watch it on stage. Me don't know if it's a mockery or them just so insensitive to a pain that, you know what I mean, them don't know how this have a look. This look like a them are the slave master. Wanna go watch it on their own time. The people them they right in front of them. As them a walk past, I interact with them. I beg, what kind of something that? Unless una mock we for say, this with the tone. But me I jump the gun. Me don't know if I that them do. But me know if you facts that them do. Meaning they were the ones that sold us into slavery. Me know if you fact, they sold us into slavery. Now, the best conclusion me can come to with this is that them insensitive to a pain. And don't know that something like this would have come like a mockery to we, especially upon Juneteenth. And you know the reason why they did this? Them do this because them are campaign for reparations. We can't make this up. So you have the Ghanaians, them want to be the champions for reparation for black people. And them have Olivia Babsy Grange there. Then them have Maya Motley there. And several Caribbean black leaders. Why is Ghana championing on behalf of we? Are we fit up on the forefront? But if you understand the history, you will know why. They are champion feet because like every other African scammer, they might try to make some money. You understand? They might try to make some money off of you. The Africans, them, known for scamming, knowing that at them selling a slavery, are going to make a money off of your reparations. Why? We're going to play this now. You're going to hear with this, you know what I mean, this Mutombo politician, you know what I mean, in a Ghana, I go say. Zin?
It's full of mischief and quantities and leave them on. You know what I mean?
Our voices were fragmented for decades, and it served the interests of some groups to keep those voices fragmented. And so narratives were spun in the Caribbean. Why are you making, a union with Africa from where you were taking? You deserve reparations more than any other person. Same in America, same in Latin America. The slave trade affected all of us.
When you hear that? And this, all right, you see, if it wasn't for we in the ISUPK, it wasn't for Commanding General YAHANNA, this flyover on the head. This flyover on the head, on the ear that I want to agree with him. Him said, some people attack, say, why Caribbean people are come together with Africa for reparations. We suffer from slavery. Talking about Caribbean and Latin America. Why we don't need Africa? And him say, well, here what? Slavery affected all of us. You know what you would have said? And me not try to bring down nobody. You know your Rastafari community would have said? A true man, because members say Africans get selling a slavery, you know. Yeah, man, them forget reparation to man. Yeah, man. You know what Muta Baruka would have said? Muta Baruka would have said, a true man. Yeah, man. Africa deserve reparations because that's where the people that come from. brethren, when you know the history, you know say this is a big spit in your face. Them a bridge your reparations knowing that are them selling a slavery. Them a try and make a money off of any possibility of you getting reparations. Even though they make money off of your slavery. And big head dunce back like Munta Baruka and your Rastafari bridging them. I go say, yeah man, and that for go on man. Africa for Africans. Africa wasn't for we. When them sell we, cause them want we out of them land. Africa wasn't for we. And Africa is still not for we because Haiti believe the lie. Whether year 2015 or 16, Haiti believe in the lie, needing some support. Say, yeah, we are Africans. Make me join the African Union. Them say no. Them say no. So no African for Africans, we're not all Africans. Oh, we are just Africans. We don't like with music, with dancehall, with calypso, we, you know what I mean? We all our culture, them, with things that we create. And the only time that you know why we be African, when you can benefit off of we. I want to know, say, I know the reason why we're there in the situation where we in. But slavery benefited, slavery affected all of us. Slavery affected we. We were sold. Our grandparents were raped, grape, slack TikTok, grape, torture. Then our children was used as alligator bait to catch alligator. You ever hear about Darby's dose? Research that. We went through that here in Jamaica. We were hung from trees. We were work to, you know what I mean, an inch of life and sometimes work to death. We were born in a slavery not knowing who we are because we're born in a slavery, brethren. We go through that, Ush Africans that go through that. All I'm talking about, you know what I mean, slavery affected all of us. Slavery never affect them. It boosts them pocket. And them a cruff because after that, the white man colonized them too. Blinking idiot, dunce bat, fufu. No one come benefit back off of we again. Because we never make use of the things them want to gain through slavery. We suffer, brethren. Yo, we went through the worst thing ever happened on planet Earth. We and some stinking, you know what I mean, doodoo eating African want to come benefit off our reparation, brethren. You should find that offensive. And you don't because somebody convinced you that you were African. And the whole concept of that is an abomination. That is an abomination. Because the simple fact, you don't know who you are. If you knew who you were, you would know how disgraceful being an African is. If you know who you really were, you would have found that offensive. We'll continue playing this.
To come and learn about African and history as well. And
if slavery was the crime, then repair must be part of the job.
All right, so that is a black American, you know what I mean? Some Pan-Africanist, probably. I don't know who the person is, but I'm South American, right? Some black person. But, you know what I mean? Money, no amount of money can compensate for what we went through in slavery. If you put a monetary value upon our slavery, you know what I mean? You don't have no respect for your people and your foreparents that went through slavery. No amount of money can compensate. You know what I mean? Because you're going to make them politicians, you know what I mean? Put a figure upon your slavery. You know what I mean? Because we read the article here now, we're going to jump to an article. As a matter of fact, we're going to make it clear. You know what I mean? I now read it, I make it play up, I couldn't hear it. You understand? So Babsy Grange, this said, Jamaica to petition King Charles and reparatory justice September the 6th. So back to school, they're going to link King Charles. See? For money. Must be money for send them picnic to school. No. See? They're going to link King Charles for some reparatory justice. We're going to play it. Because it have an audio.
Jamaica to petition King Charles on reparatory justice September 6th. By Linford Simpson, Observer writer. The Jamaican government will formally petition Britain's King Charles III on reparation for slavery on September 6th, which the Minister of Culture, Gender, Entertainment and Sport Olivia Grange has described as a historic day. Grange addressed the matter on Tuesday during her contribution to the 2026/27 sectoral debate in the House of Representatives. She told the Parliament that September 6th marks the date in 1781, when the Zong slave ship departed West Africa for Jamaica with 442 enslaved Africans. She outlined that throughout the journey, the ship ran into trouble, and the captain kept throwing enslaved Africans overboard in order to claim insurance for loss of cargo. The result was that 140 enslaved Africans were killed, and the ship finally arrived in Black River, St. Elizabeth on December 21st, 1781. We erected a monument to the murdered Africans in Black River where the ship docked. Interestingly, when Hurricane Melissa
All right, so some dumbass say, you know what I mean, why you don't confront the white people? If you know nothing about it, you don't know about it, you don't know about the ISUPK. All right, I will introduce myself again. We do it every beginning of the class. We are the ISUPK under commanding General YAHANNA. You never hear about it yet? I first hear about it. The man said, why you don't confront the white? Virgin, you must never hear about it. You know hear about the man them when make white people bow down and kiss them boot in a Texas, in a New York, in a every state in America. That's who start going in a Jamaica. That's who start tour this tourist board and make them kiss with boot down here too. Just hold on, just wait. Virgin, you don't know about it. Where you talk, brother? I force him to say it, Virgin. We are the ISUPK under commanding General YAHANNA, the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge. Just Google with no Virgin. The white man are the devil where the Bible talk about. And we say that. Right now we are dealing with the Africans them. Because big head weeded dunce back like you believe you're African. So we have to take that out of your brain. Because we'll find out about, you know what I mean, pro-African people who love Africans and hate Jamaican black people. Like Munta Baruka them and the Rastafari community. You ever hear them talk about black people? Them bleach out face boy, them straight pants and rare. Them not have nothing good for talk about Jamaican black people. Ask them about Africans. Yeah man, Ibrahim Toure. You know what I mean? Like Ibrahim Toure are the average African. Average African them a cannibal and them eat doodoo. And them eat bush meat. And them cut out them female clit. Virgin, I don't know if I want a black woman will fantasize about Africa. Go on like Janine. Go down to Tanzania like Janine. Because Janine, hear what Janine said. And this is, Virgin, I know what I say, you know. The Rastafari community hate black people in Jamaica and love stinking Africans. Janine say a beer waste man there in Jamaica. Watch the on-stage interview. She can't bother with Jamaican man because them a waste man. See? Why them a waste man? Because them want a bag of woman. You know what Janine go Tanzania go do? Go marry some Muslim African we have more than one wife. So we are talk about yet, brethren, you know hate the white man more than we over here, so. No for uno, let me show you something about Rasta and Pan-Africans. Them talk a good game. Who have more white women than Rasta? When you go on the North Coast and say a black man and a white woman, the black man is usually a Rasta. You don't notice a Rasta them silent, brother. Them can't talk, you know, see how we attack. You know, see how we attack. Who attack? Which organization in earth now attack up for black people? Them can't talk up for black people because them sell out black people. We can talk and talk freely without no shackles for our mouth. We can talk freely because we are champion the cause of black people, Hispanics, and Native Indian. We are give them something when nobody can give them, and that are them true identity. And why me can say that? You will talk about why me not talk about the white man. You don't know who you are. And you should think about the facts that me can say that and be correct, even about you. Why am I correct that you don't know who you is? You're going to say you're African. That's all you can say. You're African. Which part of Africa, which tribe? Which language you used to speak? You don't know, you have a clue. And you don't want to know. Or you would not come up against we and I tell Virgin we make white people kiss with both. And you know what I mean? And that are just mercy if you know, because we soon read some scripture and tell you what go on. You understand? Just understand on yourself, man. Big up yourself, Jacob Tribute, last days. Yeah, man, every organization when it come out as black organization are rare. Them silent. But we, the ISUPK and the command in general, yeah, if a strand pan on the ear get hurt, we take it up. We that our job, that our the most I said we out have to do. And we not feel. We not go off and go marry no white woman, and a Chinese, and a East Indian, and then talk about we are all equal and peace on earth. Me not pray for no peace, brethren. Hell with peace. Life is about war, and we not tell nobody if we go take up the arms. Don't take up the arms. This is the arms. You see what you want the arms come learn the scriptures. I will teach you what this thing I did I say. When we get to know the Christian church. You see when we can get to know them thing, then you go see a difference between black people and Hispanics. You go see where I start, build as a nation. But we have some things, some shackles for our brain where I hold back. You understand? We love the white man so much that we want to save him. We love them Africans so much that we are trying to save them. When them are complicit in our slavery, we need for all them accountable too. The Africans, them are say, them are going to fight for reparation for we and for themselves. Them owe we reparations. We are talking about if a money the thing there, them need to pay away. You have a thing I go on now where Africa try, you know what I mean, invest in a Jamaica. You know why? Them say the Chinese are investing in a Jamaica and how much them control Jamaica. Them say how the white man invest in a Jamaica and a control Jamaica. See? And they must say, we are missing out on something like special like how we love the music. Why not just go there and monopolize them? Why not just go to the source, give them some billions? Because contrary to where you think Africa rich, you know, them African country are bill and them rich. Them are left out from under the third world status. Them are go first world. South Africa a part of the BRICS nation, you know. Them have money, you know. You think them African nation, them know who them is, them as each country, them together. All of them not together, you know. Them divided as Africans, but the country them are bill. We can't build it. Oh, we have a billion in Jamaica, and the oppressor lead we in Jamaica. The government, the JLP and PMP are white people. What I mean? Are the white man politics that make you keep you down. We can't build nothing in Jamaica unless we separate from that. But the Africans, them know say, them can come buy out your politician with a few $1 billion and turn your oppressor us too. Again. So them are come with some billions for show to Andrew Holness and them. And who to tell, you know what I mean, they might drag you back through the mud. Who knows? We are up on some perilous time right now. We don't know where the future holds. See, we have a madman who rule the world now, Donald Trump. Anything possible. What kind of answers them have for you in your African, pro-African community, or your Rastafari community, or your Christian church? Where the answer? Where them are going? Where them are telling you to do? Yeah? Smoke more weed, get high, go up on the hill and chant down Babylon, ball out Rastafari. I mean, I have a video I can play today about Rastafari, you know, boy Selassie, you know, which I could probably leave it to another class, you know. Because him not descend from no Solomon, him not even believe that. Him never believe that. Him know say I want story when people there. I will tell you that. We tell you them something there. We tell you no. Say I something them make up from one time past for kind of get some legitimacy. The Hebrew records, which is the Bible, the Muslims them cling on to it for legitimacy. The Christians, which is the white man, cling on to it for legitimacy. The fake Jew, the Jewish man, cling on to it for legitimacy. And the Ethiopians, them do the same with the Kebra and gas. But are we, our thing? Because you don't have no records like this will stand the test of time. It in a book format now, but before it was scrolls, our scrolls. That would be in our House of Parliament. You know what I mean? The equivalent to that. In the Bible, we call it the holy place. Holy means separate. Meaning everybody can't go there. So we would have them scrolls there in some special place where we keep. You understand? It stands the test of time because it's accurate. So them other nations that them want to cling on to it and take a piece of it. Haile Selassie, him knows that him people them do. Him no believe say him come from the Lion and the tribe of Judah. Him knows say but as something we keep them on the map. And not even him crown himself that a Britain. Say him the Lion and the tribe of Judah. Brethren, we are trying to tell you the truth, brethren, but you have some people where them rather believe the lies. We don't need to come out of the Christian church. Get inside the ISUPK and the commanding general, YAHANNA. Yes, sound for that. You understand? We will continue. We will continue playing this thing here. We'll play a little more of the audio, then we're going to jump to, you know what I mean, some more videos what we have. See, we have a video kind of deep, it carry through the part when we're in Africa. You have a place where them call the door of no return. You understand? We're going to watch that video there. You know what I mean? For the people them on TikTok, I'm going to narrate it for you. I'm going to explain what we are seeing. See? So we get an idea of what our people saw when we were coming through that door of no return to be sold into slavery. You understand? We have a couple of videos where we are going to play. You know what I mean? Remember to tap up the screen, like, share, and follow. You understand? We'll play a little more of this.
It was the only monument standing as if to remind us of our duty to seek reparatory justice. Grange remarked, she explained that the petition to the king will request that he refers to the Privy Council, the final appellate court of Jamaica, 3 questions related to the criminal nature of the transatlantic trafficking and racialized chattel enslavement of Africans in Jamaica. The 3 questions relate to A. Whether the forced transportation of African people from their homelands to Jamaica and their subsequent enslavement in Jamaica were lawful, because such unauthorized removal and enslavement was contrary to the fundamental principles of the common law. B. Whether the forced transportation and subsequent enslavement of people of African descent up until 1838 constituted crimes against humanity under international law, for which the UK bears responsibility. C. In light of the said actions' illegalities, whether the UK is under an obligation to provide a remedy to the Jamaican people for the unlawful transportation and enslavement of African people in Jamaica.
All right, so like I tell you before, if them ever grant one colony reparation, them know say them have to grant all colonies reparation. Not only are they not willing to, you know what I mean, put themselves in a situation there, them not give jack squat. Because, you know what I mean, you know that would mean say the slavery where them conducted was wrong. And during the time when them that conduct slavery, it was lawful on freedom books. You understand? And the oppressor never ever admit say what him did I do was wrong. You understand? Yeah, man. And they did ask for an apology from David Cameron a couple of years back. See? And he refused to give that apology. We kind of tell you the mindset of this oppressor, not even an apology more and give. A King Charles give this little apology which is not really apology. You understand? And look how much years it take for them do it. You understand? They are not willing to give a reparation. So we can stop look for reparations. And again, if them ever give any kind of monetary value to any one of them politicians, I just know say just like the Melissa money, you know, see it. You never ever benefit from any type of reparation given to them. It will just fall to these politicians. They will tell you say they will do this with it and that with it. They will help build the Jamaican economy with it. And we know that go because when Jamaican economy build, we get smaller. When it get big, we shrink. So that now go affect we in a positive way, not at all. See? All right. Now go play that tape here. See? Hold on. Close that. And we have an excerpt from a logbook, you know what I mean, as well. We want to read. We read it already in our class, but every day we get new viewers, so we want to make sure we read it so people know what the slave trade was really like. Yes, the oppressor, he was the one that enslaved us. Not only him, you have the Arabs that were involved, you have the Africans that were involved. You understand? The white man ultimately enslaved and oppressed us. We still are under slavery today under the white man. But the white man did not invade Africa. The white man pulled up at the coast of Africa and bought slaves from the Africans. We're going to read that. See, in the meanwhile, we're going to play this. You understand?
This was the only market that was closer to the three dungeons. Barefoot and half naked, with no food, with no water. Thousands of them died along that journey.
So Ima mentioned, you know what I mean, the journey to head to this particular slave port. You have a lot of them on the west coast of Africa. You have slave castles. You understand? On the west coast of Africa. See? No, he must say on the journey, thousands of us died on the way. You know what I mean? Let me continue playing.
Hello guys, welcome back to an episode here on Scanty Explores, and this is Latif. As you know, central region of Ghana is one of the hubs where slavery took place because there's a Mina Castle here and there's also the Cape Coast Castle. But one place that has intense history about slavery that is not mentioned is the Asen Manso slave market. And we are here at Asen Manso to discover what really happened on this land. This land has so much history that I know most people who even know about slavery don't know about this place. But we are here to explore and to listen what really happened on this land. Join us and let's explore.
We have got to the point where literally anybody can build a fully working app.
Yeah, guys, so we are finally inside the Asin Manso slave market, and we are here with a guy who's going to take us through all what happened here so many years ago. Please, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Please, what's your name?
My name is Kofi Ameni.
Okay.
And I'm the site manager.
Okay, all right.
Yes, and today is a day that I've seen your group coming over.
Okay.
And we are here to tell you what really happened at Asin Manso during the transatlantic slave trade. It is very heavy on our mat to say the pains that our ancestors endured on this land. But if we don't talk about it, no one else will.
Yeah.
So this afternoon we are at Asin.
So you hear the narrative, where what our ancestors went through. So them will make it seem like a few them ancestors went through that. All right, let me show you our logics. See? Let me show you our logics. Even if we were Africans, that wasn't his ancestors. Because those people would be over here. Our ancestors would be different from theirs. Because they were selling the people who their soul is over here. Even if we were Africans. No. This narrative that, you know what I mean, this is their ancestors. You know what I mean? Misinformation. Tourism. You understand? This spot right or so, what them call it, I forgot what them call it. All right, let me see it. Slave River, you know what I mean? To the it's the last bath. Then tourist attraction. The story behind it bring tourists. Where them tourists are gonna come from? Jamaica, Barbados, North America. People who, you know what I mean, foreparents was actually selling to slavery, I go on and see them place here. This is a tourist attraction. You understand? Let me tell you now what have been taking place in Africa, on the west coast, like Ghana, Nigeria, and them, see, for the last couple of years. Them do a thing where they never usually do. And it is for welcome back black people over here in the West for money as a tourist attraction. You understand? So right now you have a campaign where before them never did do this, you know. But now them attack as if we and them have a common ancestry. And you know what I mean? And you know all them know say it is possible to exploit this because of the Rastafari community and the songs them where them sing, you know what I mean? The Pan-African community and all of them people there, we are convinced we, and not only we, are convinced the Africans them say we are Africans too. You understand? And we alone, them are convinced say we are African, you know. Them are convinced the Africans them say we are African too. So what the Africans them do is them are exploited. So now them little place here, them have where is a tourist attraction, them decorated some little shallow grave where they did it, so them turn it into an official grave, put little barricade around it and a sign and grass and all them thing there around it. Now it's a tourist attraction. Now you come to Africa and you visit them place here, you have a tour guide, we are guided through it, and I say, and I give you a sub story and I tell you, say, oh, some of our people were sold. No, theme people sell your people. But you might make money because when you come there, so you have to spend your US dollar, you have to spend your Jamaican dollar, you have to spend whatever. You understand? You go bring your money and you go spend your money and then you go jump on a plane and go back to your yard and them go laugh to the bank. Typical African scam. So now them call themselves we know. You understand? When that wasn't the case in a time past, is the Rastafari community and reggae music tell them African, I say them can call themselves we. You understand? Let me play this.
Asin Manso slave market. St. Manso, once upon a time, was one of the slave markets that existed during the slave trade.
Slave market, I them thing I want to understand, because our people have a shallow, you know what I mean, understanding of the transatlantic slave trade. This is in Ghana, and there was a slave market, meaning there was no white man hunting slave. It was Africans selling slaves on the west coast of Africa to the white man, the devil. See? So the white man pull up in our ship. We're gonna read the logbook when we're done. See? The white man pull up in our slave ship. Then them Africans sail out to the slave ship with slaves. Them trade slaves for brandy, which is wine, see? Guns, and all them things there. And then the white man him carry the slaves over, brutalized with on the slave ship. You know what I mean? The logbook I got tell you about some, you know what I mean, rebellions where we try on the slave ship. You know what I mean? Many of us never make it over. Then when we reach over here, so now, well, this logbook now I got tell you about that part, but when we reach over now, we serve slavery under the white man. But what we are trying to make you understand is not just this oppressor is involved. And this is very important for you to know. This I will help you find your way and find out who you really is. It wasn't, we have many enemies. And it's not just the white man, he's the main one. But the Africans, them are our enemies. You understand? You have the Arabs who build the slave ships. You understand? Then you have basically every nation benefited in some way. And nobody spoke on our behalf. As a matter of fact, them come over here in the West and see what condition and look down upon we. And say, oh, we're lazy. Oh, if we be lazy, I will serve 400 years of slavery. Work for free. Them look for our condition and say, yo, we no unite. Them look down upon we like we are animals. See? Them say, we no own no business. When every time we try to build something, it get sabotaged by the oppressor. When there's a systematic, you know what I mean, thing in place for keep with them. All of them nations are complicit. And if you notice, all of them are benefit in some way, shape, or form, meanwhile we are suffer down on the ground. You know what I mean? All right, so somebody asks a question. One thing I don't get, why you prefer to call yourself black over African or your nationality? You know what I mean? This person said, why I prefer to call myself black? First and foremost, black is just a descriptive term. You know what I mean? The people that were called black were not the Africans. This is a way of understanding. The people, when you talk about black people, unless you're born yesterday, people who them called black people are the people them who was brought over into slavery. The Africans don't consider themselves black people. Them consider themselves based off of them tribe, which might be Nigerian, Ghanaian, you know what I mean? And each of them little province they divide up in a tribe, whatever tribe them belong to. The reason why we were called black people is because the white man wanted to belittle us. However, we use the term black people, Zin, to differentiate between we and the Africans. So you know exactly who we are talking about. Now we are talking about, you know what I mean, rather than to call, you know what I mean, myself an African or your true nationality. Brethren, by nationality, we are the 12 tribes of Israel. We here in Jamaica are from the tribe of Benjamin or Banyamyan. You understand? We are the Hebrews. We were the people who the Africans were selling in the transatlantic slave trade. God's chosen people, the special people, the people them will build reggae music, dancehall, rap, R&B, we take over the world and everybody and their mother have to follow it. These are God's people. The people them will do the amazing thing them on the earth when nobody else can do. These are God's chosen people with dark skin, but we are not African. So me rather call myself black than a funky, stinking African. Who would want to be a nasty, you know what I mean, doodoo mud hut, you know what I mean, African? Who would want to be that? And you know why our people behave a certain way too? Not only because of Christianity, you know. Christianity make we look down on ourselves, you know, because when you worship the white Jesus there, you look on black people, you know what I mean, in a derogatory way, you know what I mean? But when you look on your alternative to the white man Christianity, and then you swing left and look and say, oh, we are African, brethren, that's supposed to do a number for your self-esteem, in a brethren. You can imagine if, you know what I mean? All right, if you're African, yo, what you fight for? Why you want freedom if all we are these filthy heathens? What is there so desirable in being an African? You want to know the history of Africa? The history of Africa are some bone-eating savages where walk up and down naked, you know. We cut off them woman clit and all them thing there, you know. We put piercing through them, this big plate. Oh, all right, somehow now say we're African. Oh, me no soon now wear the big lip plate them. Muta Baruka and your friend them where, you know what I mean, we love Africa. You see Muta Baruka wear the big lip plate. The best thing can do our barefoot, well, Africans are wear shoes now. Oh, you know, see, Muta Baruka, your African Rasta friend them, I put the ring them around them neck to stretch it. And I flatten them head. And I walk up and down naked like the Africans. You know why them now do that? Because that look distasteful and disgusting. And we know that we're better than that. Even our misery over here in the West and in a slavery, we're better than that. So my point is this, brethren, if Africa is where you aspire to, you know, make no sense you fight for, you know what I mean, freedom. And that is the lie where the oppressor tell we too. Let me show you something. You know the reason why the oppressor can tell the lie, say him do a favor when he enslave we can know him civilize us, is because you believe say you're African. The oppressor never civilized we. Yeah, maybe he did have to civilize the African them. But we did already civilize. We'd have colleges in Africa, in a Timbuktu. We had, you know what I mean? Brother, we're so sophisticated more than the Africans. We are a clean people. The Africans them is a nasty people. You understand? But because the oppressor tell you, and bear in mind this too, is the oppressor tell you say you're African, and the white man tell you say you're African. Is the white man tell you say you're African, and because the white man tell you say you're African, and you believe it, now him can say, him civilize you. And that's why I know if I want to turn to Christianity. Because to Uno, Christianity is better than being, you know what I mean, them filthy Africans. Christianity to Uno better than being some bone-eating naked African. So in our mind, the white man do not favor when we were no filthy African. We weren't walking up and down naked. We were a decent people. Of course, yeah, we were, you know what I mean? We were sinning against the Most High when we were there in Africa, yes. But we did better than the Africans. All right, we have Radical Media. Him says, Salakia, Shalom, Lord and Christ, please. Hey, Shalom, sir. I don't know if you want to jump in on the class, sir. Officer Ayazab, just send me a request. I make you jump in on the class. You see what I say? Yeah, man, just let me know if you want to jump in on the class, sir. You know what I mean? Somebody said the Ethiopian Bible. Brethren, the Ethiopian Bible is a scam. See? You know what the Ethiopian Bible is? The Ethiopian Bible is something what them call one of the first translation of the book of Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. We brought that out years ago. Probably about 2-3 years ago. You understand? That is the Ethiopian Bible. The Ethiopian Bible, what Uno talk about, don't exist. All right, sir, I'm going to send you an invite. Just accept that invite, sir. You know what I mean? So the Ethiopian Bible is something where them pride themselves in. You know what I mean? Hey, shalom, sir. Wagwan.
There, man.
Yeah, man, chime in, you know. I make them know Wagwan. We're on the topic of Africa. Because here Wagwan.
Yeah, everything you're talking about, man. Everything's.
Most of them Christ,
everything's.
Man. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Because
keep going. I listen.
Yeah, man, because here in Jamaica, that is a stronghold. You get to me and say this African thing, it different than America. You know what I mean? In America, you know what I mean? I guess, yeah, you have a lot of African this, African that people. But you see, the number with the Rastafari community do by our people here in Jamaica, it's hard to convince the people so we are not African. So that's why you see, you know what I mean? I have to go through this almost surgically and break it down to people and show them, say, yo, look, we is not no African. Because Jamaica over the years have been the champion more than anywhere else on earth for Africa. If you talk about during the time of apartheid with Mandela, Jamaica basically free Mandela, you know?
Right.
Jamaica free Mandela. Jamaica have this tie to Africa. And watch you now. Right now, you have Jamaicans in South Africa right now. We have to leave South Africa. They have to leave. Because now, the South Africans don't want foreigners in them country. You understand me? So, we have to do this thing surgically more while. You understand? So, like when me that breakdown, and as I say, jump in anytime you want, you see? Yeah, man. So, like what we are saying, the Ethiopian Bible is not what you think. It's just 4 books of the New Testament where them claim is one of the earliest translation. And them say translation, which means it is not the oldest Bible, because if it translated, it come from somewhere. Something that was before it. You understand? So, and if you say the Ethiopians are are Israelites, that is not the case. You understand? All right, we'll continue playing this video. You know what I mean? And break it down as we go along.
This market was not the largest market, but as St. Mansour became the busiest market. It was the busiest market because this was the only market that was closer to the 3 dungeons.
Okay.
Fort Amsterdam, Cape Coast, and Elmina.
Okay.
Now, as St. Mansour was taking captives that were traveling all the way from the northern part of the country, from a market called the Salaga slave market. So the distance alone from Salaga to St. Mansour was over 400 miles.
Wow.
Now, many of our ancestors also crossed countries in order for them to get to St. Mansour. So those that were captured from Mali, could you imagine how many miles they could have walked?
So there were slaves that walked all the way from Mali to here.
And they were in chains and shackles, barefoot and half naked, with no food, with no water. Thousands.
So in basically I gear the journey, you know what I mean, and the conditions where our people was in Africa before being sold. You know what I mean? And this was being done by the Africans. You understand? We were in shackles before we reached on them slave ship there. You understand? We had to walk miles. See? Miles. You know the first part. Go ahead, sir.
Not to cut you off.
No, man, you're good, man. Jump in anytime you want, sir.
So what is person in the video trying to say is that they, the Israelites that had to walk all these miles and in captivity, that's what they're trying to say. That's what in this video that you're playing right now. I'm trying to understand.
Yeah, man. In basically,
they say they were the Israelites that had to walk.
No, him
in
not.
captivity.
No, sir. Him not say the Israelites, you know. he might make it look like it was them selling them own people. See? But he might describe, but he might describe it, the conditions of the people that were being sold. He must say, yo, them did have to walk miles upon miles, shackled up, you know what I mean? The conditions were terrible, you know what I mean, and so forth. But what he might try sell is that it was his ancestors. When in fact, we know the truth, no, say, they were selling the Israelites.
Right.
You understand? That's what me I bring out. But what the point of me I make to the people and we are watching now is look what you went through before even the slave ship, and this was being done by the Africans.
Right.
You understand? And then we have to show them the facts and the proofs. Say, yo, we are in Africa. You understand? Yeah, man.
Of them died along that journey. How many of us standing today can even work for 2 days with no food and no water?
All right, guys, yes, I know a lot of you guys want to travel, and I want to introduce to you this platform that has made our travel.
All right, so them jump to an ad. It's an internal ad in the video. But this kind of going to my point is all about tourism. Zin? So I'm going to tell you about some travel app where you can use to fly to Africa. It's all about for wheeling Jamaicans, wheeling Bayesians, Trinidadian black people who empathize on what people went through to come visit Africa and spend them money. It's not because they love you. It's a tourist campaign to bring tourists to Africa. You understand? I'm going to play it. But I skip it a while ago, but I'm going to play it now.
Easier. That is www.wakanow.com. Their number is on your screen. If you are seeking for a travel and tour agency that is going to help with visa application process, e-visa, flight, accommodation, airport, or any tour packages that you are looking out for, reach out to wakanow.com because they are out there for you because they have been making our travel easier. They have tour packages to various countries in the world, including Dubai, SA, Mauritius, and a whole lot. Just reach out to Wakanow. Their number is on your screen. And trust me, they are really going to make your traveling, insurance, everything, safety easier. My name is Kanti. Now let's go back into the video.
All right, so your name Wakanow, Zin, which come off of Wakanda. We all know Wakanda is not a real place, right? Wakanda is not, it's a makeup place. Wakanda come from the Black Panther movie. You know what I mean? It shows you the mindset of the people them a target, Black Americans, who, because of the Black Panther movie and the love for Africa, might want to visit Africa. So that website, the name Wakanow, whatever, but we just show to say, yo, it's a tourism thing, you understand? It's all about tourism. It's not because the African them love you.
Talking about people.
For just $67, you can generate as...
In the meanwhile, everybody watching, top up the screen, like, follow, share, and subscribe. You know what I mean?
Your relatives. In history, we're told from our family that many of them were taken away. And those that were taken away, we never even learned about it. And today we are learning how they taught this journey. While they were coming, many historians are estimating that from 40 to 60% might have died in the interior. But for me, I don't believe that 40 to 60 would have died. I am looking at over 80% dying. Because
you hear what I'm saying? 40 to 50% died in the interior, meaning before they go up on the slave ship. You know what I mean? But you must say 80, you know what I mean? 80% in bring it. You know what I mean? Because the treatment of these Africans, how them did a treat we before we reach over here was, you know what I mean, very cruel. You understand? Let me continue playing.
You just have to put yourselves in there and you realize you cannot survive this for 4 months. While they were coming, they were marching through the forest belts of the country. So in 2005, there was a research that was conducted. My granny told me about it, but I didn't know the exact place she was talking about until 2005 when a project was announced to trace the path that the enslaved Africans used. Now, many of you here today are coming from Ghana. And could you believe that they walked through this path, through the Mole National Park, in order for them to get here? Mole is a nature reserve. So imagine you walking through that forest in chains and shackles. Our ancestors saw the danger. They were scared, but they cannot run away from it. They stood and the danger came to them. Many of these animals fed on them because they were used as bait in the forest. So when the animals...
So in basically I say, you know what I mean, the journey was through the forests in Africa. You know what I mean? And you know where you find in a forest, you find wild animals and them things there. You understand? So animals would attack our people because we're in a shackles. You know, in some cases, like what him said, we were used as bait because the people that we lead with would have want to distract the animals them. So, you know what I mean? Many of us was used to a sacrifice to the animals so that them could have gone them way. You understand? So the journey to this port, to this slave port, was perilous. You understand? And continue playing.
Are coming and they are chained around trees. The animals go to that direction.
Go ahead, sir.
If I may, Babu Kasha.
Yeah, man.
And you see how heavy that is, that you bring that up just now, because it's the same thing that happened with our ancestors, our so-called brothers. You know what I mean? The Judite tribe. You know what I mean? In America, they use our babies as alligator bait. You know what I mean? So it's like what you're bringing out based on the Africans is the same ideology or philosophy or thinking mindset of these heathens. When you mentioned earlier, all of them had a hand in destroying us. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
So, brother, I just wanted to bring that up real quick.
Yeah, man. Every point that was, sir. You know what I mean?
And they fed on them. The few ones that could continued until they landed here at this market. When they landed here, the market goes all the way to the community. But the reason why this area has been confined is because this area has been identified to have been the slave cemetery within the slave market. So from the edge of the grass all the way to the river, we are walking on the remains of our forebears. Wow. That was when you were coming through the main gate. The gate itself looked very short. So almost all of you entered like this. Yes, unconsciously, you've already paid your respect to the land. When they landed here at this market, this was where they were properly fed. Broken bottles and sharp objects were used in shaving them, after which they were made to walk to the river in order for them to take their last bath. The riverside was where they went to their auction and they went to their branding. But those that could not continue with the journey, they decided to stay. And they have waited on this land for the past 500 years now. So today, as we are standing on them, all that we can say to them is may their souls rest in peace. In peace.
All right, I skip to the end where them talk about the gate of, or the door of no return. You know what I mean? Or the last bath. You understand? Let me skip down there, so. You know what I mean? In the meanwhile, remember to top up the screen, like and follow and share.
So we are at the Slave River. If you had visited during the peak of our rainy season, everywhere you'll be flooded. Well, that is why we use the bamboos as demarcation, so that when it gets flooded, we use ropes to surround the bamboos so nobody crosses to the river. Yeah. Now, when the captives landed in here, if they've worked for 7 months to be here, and you are a female, we are looking at 7 menstrual cycle. So the first month, the blood comes on them, it dries on them 7 times in 7 months. Now, when the ladies landed in here, they realized that the blood has formed like a layer on their skin. And was so very difficult for you to wash it off. So they wanted to use a sponge to bathe them. But where would they get a sponge? So they only look for a substitute, and they use the bamboo leaves. The bamboo leaves is what they use to bathe the captives. Okay. So imagine if this how sharp and thick it is. When they do this, it's easier to scrape all the dirt. And after taking all those dirt off, you realize that many of them have bruises over their body. So when they brought them in here, many of them were bathing in that side of the river, and many of them were committing suicide because of the rocky nature. So the captives stopped them from bathing. The raiders stopped them from bathing in this river, and they only concentrated to bathe them at this part, because this part is very sandy. Later they knew that the river are not just a river, they are 2 separate rivers. When you observe carefully, you're going to see this part of the river is very stagnant, and that part is flowing. Now, the name of this river became the slave river, Donko Nsu. And that is the male energy. And the other river is Emisa Oche, Ana Ama Emisa. That's the female version. So when the diaspora comes today, we don't touch this river. This river is a river to do so many things. So we don't touch the energy of the river. So when the diaspora comes back, they don't come back as their last bath, but they visit the river as their first bath of return. And that is...
So, you know what I mean? So you go through the last bath, right? That when you go through the river, you know what I mean? I describe the situation many a times, you know what I mean? Where sisters would be bleeding, you know what I mean? And them cycle. And because the journey is so long, and yet, of course, they never get a time for wash. You know what I mean? Sometimes just simply going through the river don't wash off the stain. You know what I mean? They have to use the bamboo leaf and scrape off the blood because it's so hard. So, but what he must say is, which is a part of the plan, right? When the diaspora comes back, because that's the campaign of them depend now, when many of our people, if you don't know why, you know, get tricked into and go back to and go Africa. See? What we must say is when the diaspora come back, which, you know what I mean, all them are do, why them are put, you know what I mean, some, we call it the spotlight on slavery over there in Africa, is trying to convince, you know, to come back to spending the money. You understand? It's just a scam. See? So please, don't get caught up in that scam. You know what I mean? Yeah, man, instead get inside the ISUPK and the command in general, YAHANNA. Learn your history, learn your culture, learn who you are as God's chosen people. You know what I mean? From the 12 tribes of Israel. Sit down in these classes and learn. You understand? So you don't fall victims to things like this. It might look, you know what I mean? It might look intriguing. You want to learn your culture, and them Africans there, you might think, look like you, and them have the answer. Them are the best people to teach you who you are, and you want to go over there and learn your culture. You're going to get scammed. And you might end up in some, you know what I mean, on somebody's plate. I mean, I exaggerate. See? Stay where you're there. Learn your culture. Get inside the ISUPK. And, you know what I mean? And learn the scriptures. Learn the Bible. Learn your culture. All right. What we are going to do now still? See? We have an article. You know what I mean? Which speak about, you know what I mean? This is a talk about one logbook from one slave ship called the Black Prince in 1762. And for anybody who know what a logbook is, if you do security work, you know what a logbook is. What you do with a logbook is you log the time somebody visits or come on a compound and when somebody leaves. You understand? You log the activities that take place regarding to whichever location you work. You understand? That is what a logbook is. And on a ship, every ship have a logbook. You know what I mean? They have a security logbook and then another logbook, right? Now, this wouldn't be the security logbook. This would be the logbook that log every event concerning the slave ship. Every activity that the slave ship, you know what I mean, indulge in. You understand? And them log the interaction between them and the African, you know what I mean? And how this slave transaction took place. And like what I said, this wasn't them going into no Africa in a bush and catching nobody. It was the Africans bringing slaves to them and exchanging. So without further ado, on the top of the screen, like, follow, and share. Hold on, let me see if no comments today what I need for address. I mean, because I know we have some small-minded, or you, not me, carbon. Yeah, that sounds like a smoke weed, brother. Anyway, we're going to read this. So this says, this is discoveringbristol.org.uk. See? And it said a logbook from a slave ship. Now, the picture, let me put it up on the screen on YouTube. We're not going to see it on TikTok, you know what I mean, for obvious reasons, you know what I mean? But on YouTube, you know what I mean, if you go over to YouTube, you're able to see it. So they have the excerpt, like a 1 page out of the slave ship logbook. But what they're going to do is they're going to tell you what the logbook is saying. See? So they said the following are extracts from the logbook of the Bristol slave ship, and shout out to Officer Abadawan because he's the one that bring this up. See? And this is a very good teaching tool. so that our people can, you know what I mean, understand what really took place. All right. So it said the following are extracts from the logbook of the Bristol slave ship, the Black Prince, in 1762. The logbook remains intact today. A page from it is pictured here. The journal of an intended voyage in the ship Black Prince from Bristol to the Gold Coast of Africa, being her 7th to the coast, commencing April the 24th, 1762, was kept by the captain William Miller. So William Miller is the captain of this slave ship, the Black Prince, right? So it said the owner of the ship were James Larocque and Co. That is a company. So the owner of the ship was, so it's a company owned the ship. You understand? So for many people never even know, say, you had companies back in them times. For the most part, our people think about slavery as a time, like a medieval time. You know what I mean? You had companies back then. And the company name was, let me read again, James Larocque and Co. Right? Let's continue. The Black Prince. Go ahead, brother. Go ahead, sir.
If I may, Baba Bashar, that's heavy you bringing that out, because a lot of our people, especially in the Caribbean, don't know that all the slaves were insured by the so-called small hats. I mean, I don't know if I can say it on TikTok, but the so-called, you know what I mean?
The fake Jews.
The fake Jews, right? THAWADAH. You know what I mean? And they had companies set up with ships, just like the Titanic. They had all these companies and ways of making money, you know what I mean, set up. And they would use the Arabs to build the ships. They would use the Africans to round up the so-called black people over there.
The Israelites.
And once they get hold of the black people, they would transport them on the ships that the Arabs build and insure each and every one of them, and they would have a manifesto, which is the logbook, which is what you're talking about. You know what I mean? Because you're going to have a manifesto for your cargo that you're carrying on your ship. And if your cargo perish in terms of, let's say, like a hurricane or the ship sink or whatever, you're going to have to get your money back for your investment. And that is exactly what you're bringing out right now. Keep bringing it out, brother.
And to add to your point as well, many of these captains and these people transporting slaves used to just, you know what I mean, throw brothers and sisters overboard because they know them was insured. And they know, say, yo, them are going to get compensated for that. You understand?
That's right.
So we are, you know what I mean, we are trying to make people them know, say, you know what I mean, I never caveman time. See? I did, it was a business. See? Let me continue reading though. See? So it said, Black Prince left Bristol on the 24th of April, 1762, arriving at the West African coast on the 26th of June. The ship stopped first at a place in West Africa called St. Paul's. You know what I mean? So you have a place in Africa. All right, we have to break down them things. See? Named St. Paul's. What that say about Africa? If you have a place in Africa named St. Paul's.
Colonized by the so-called oppressor.
Right, and also that would imply that, you know what I mean, these Africans also were Christians. Right, you understand? These Africans were Christians. Many of them. So much so that you have a place which obviously was a colonized place. You know what I mean? Called St. Paul's. Let me continue reading. And over the next 8 months, moved around the coast buying slaves. But I'll repeat that. So it said, the ship stopped first at a place in West Africa called St. Paul's. And over the next 8 months, moved around the coast buying slaves. The ship never pulled up catching slaves. The captain and him crew never come off, run into the jungles, you know what I mean, see some man in, you know what I mean, some fig leaves and thing, run them down, capture them, and drag them upon the slave ships. No. Them circle the course, upon the course, buying slaves. Let me continue reading. The captain wrote, 30th of June at 3 a.m., the longboat came on board with 17 gang casks of water and some traders with 2 men slaves. You know what I mean? So this happened on the 30th of June, right? So what was the longboat? What was the longboat? The longboat was the canoes where the African them known for have. These long canoes. You understand? Let's continue. 17, the 17th of July, my black, or parentheses, his black servant called John Prince gave an impertinent answer to Mr. Thomas III, mate for which I'm giving him correction. So, you know what I mean? A brother, you know what I mean, by the name of John Prince, so they name him John Prince, Zane, gave a disrespectful answer to some white man, you know what I mean? And this captain was correcting, meaning punishing him for it, right? Told me he would be up with me for it, upon which I put him in irons and slapped down on the quarterdeck and put him on bread and water prison fare till he know better, and to equivalent what he said, told me would run away as soon as he could. So after punishing our brother, Zane, the brother threatened the captain and him put him, you know what I mean, him punish him even more severe, put him in a shackles, you know what I mean, and the brother say him about run away as soon as him get the chance. You know what I mean? Let's continue. 3rd of August, the Pinas returned, brought some rice, but no slaves. So the first canoe pull up with 2 slaves. This one brings some rice, no slaves. You understand? All right, so somebody said, who name him? The white man name him. You understand? The person that look like him smoke weed hard. Yo, I ignore you. You know what I mean? Because the question the ignorant. See? All right, let's continue. The Pinas returned, brought some rice, but no slaves. 7th of September, King Andrew, I want to listen to this, right? King Andrew came on board, gave him a keg of brandy. All right, so coming into the ISUPK, we learned that, you know what I mean, the Africans were trading us for musket guns and wine. And this is proof, because this person named King Andrew, which them are going to show you who King Andrew is, you know what I mean, was given a keg of brandy. You know them big keg there, you know what I mean? You know where them put wine in and them something there. He was given a keg of brandy, wine, right? Let's continue. King Andrew was an African trader. So King Andrew, don't make the name fool you, he was an African, right? Probably nicknamed by his British trading partners. So King Andrew, which was an African, who was nicknamed King Andrew by his British trading partners. He had British trading partners. You know what I mean? These wasn't his masters. The British wasn't King Andrew's. As a matter of fact, them gave him a nickname King Andrew out of respect. Because who would you call a king unless you wouldn't call somebody a king unless you respect them? You understand? So this African was respected by his trading partners. He wasn't the same as, let me find it, as John Prince, who was punished because he spoke back to a white man. King Andrew, that African, was nicknamed by his friends, the British. You understand? His trading partners, the 16th of September, sailed down along coast. 20th of September, some canoes, these are the longboats, right? Some canoes came on board with some slaves. So the canoes came on board, meaning them sailed out to sea, meet the slave ship, and brought some slaves. You understand? Let's continue reading. But could not buy any but one man. So the captain is saying couldn't buy none. Just one man. Probably the price wasn't right. The Africans then probably not sell them slaves, they're too expensive. You understand? Who knows? Let's continue. Verse 27, Slakia. 27 of September. Find no trade except old slaves or children. And this is why we tell you that it is named the transatlantic slave trade for a reason. It's not the transatlantic slave capture. It's the transatlantic slave trade because these Africans were trading us, the Israelites, to the white man. And the white man was willing to buy. You understand? And this became a market. And the white man benefited, the Africans benefited, and like, you know what I mean, Officer Ayazahab mentioned, the Arabs who built those, you know what I mean, ships benefited, and the Jewish man, the top of the pyramid, the fake Jew, the one that stole our identity, claiming that him is the Jew. Him at the top of the food chain, because he made the most money, he insure the ships, insure the slaves, you know what I mean, he made the most money off of the slave trade. These are history where we bring out in the ISUPK where you need to know because somebody lied to you. Somebody told you that we were Africans when we were not. Go ahead, brother.
Baba Kasha, if I may, man, listen, you bringing out some heavy shit, bro. I ain't gonna lie. You know what I mean? I didn't even know about this the document that you're reading right now. I don't have that document. It would be too wild if I could get in my, you know, I'm an arsenal of stuff that I teach.
Yeah, man.
I teach a history class. And speaking of history, brother, you know, I got this book in front of me right now. It's called From Babylon to Timbuktu.
Yeah, man.
If I may read just one paragraph.
Go ahead.
So that it could solidify everything that you're saying. And this goes back all the way, you know what I mean, during the Roman captivity of our people in Jerusalem. Why we ended up in Africa. So that we can make the correlation to our people in the Caribbean and all over the earth.
That's
that
right.
We're not Africans.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
Come.
This is From Babylon to Timbuktu. This is page 84, the second paragraph. And I'm going to read. In the year 65 BC, the Roman armies under General Pompey captured Jerusalem. In 70 AD, General Vespucian and his son, Titus, put an end to the Jewish state with great slaughter. Meaning what? The Roman Empire came in our homeland, which is in Jerusalem, and murdered a lot of our people. You know what I mean?
Right.
They captured our elites. They took us into slavery, all of that stuff. I'm going to keep reading. During the period of the military governors of Palestine, we all hear that word Palestine and stuff like that. That's our homeland. That's where we from.
That's right.
We have people over there living in our homeland because of so-called oppressors, heathens.
That's right.
The white man, who is the devil the Bible speaks of, ran us out of our land and captured us. You know what I mean? I'm going to keep reading.
Come.
Many outrageous and atrocious atrocities, were committed against the residue of the people, meaning a lot of our people who fled, they didn't have to face that. And as I keep reading, we're going to see where our people fled into. You know what I mean? But the residue, the remainder of the people that stayed in Jerusalem, they faced a lot of tribulation, torture, slavery, all of that stuff. You know what I mean?
Sir.
During the period from Pompey to Julius, it has been estimated that over 1 million Jews fled into Africa.
Right.
Jews, black people, blacks, Latinos, First Nation people, we fled into Africa running from Roman persecution. You know what I mean? And that's what the history books don't tell us.
Okay.
The so-called history books that the so-called oppressor wrote down and put in our curriculum in our schools, that you have to go and seek common entrance and all of that stuff. You know what I mean?
Okay.
They put that in our history books so that they can keep us docile with the use of Christianity. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
As Command General YAHANNA always says, the anarchy that is on our people is ridiculous.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? I'm gonna keep reading. I'm gonna go ahead from during the period from Pompey to Julius, it has been estimated that over 1 million Jews fled into Africa, fleeing from Roman persecution and slavery.
Mm-hmm.
You feel what I'm saying? The slave markets were full of black Jewish slaves. So like it, brother. I just wanted to bring that out to what?
No, man, that, you know what I mean, very important piece of history you pull out, you know what I mean? Because what our people think, you know, is that from you come from, or from they took you from the land of Africa, you must be African. You know what I mean? And the book where Officer Ayaza pulled was the book From Babylon to Timbuktu. See? And in that book, if you should read that book, you will get to understand that this world is not just black and white. You understand? Even the Arabs are dark skinned. But you don't hear nobody saying that we are Arabs over here. See? So, you know what I mean? THAWADAH for that way you bring out, sir. You know what I mean? Very heavy piece of information. You know what I mean? Yeah, man. Yeah, man. So, all right. Now, go send it. Just reach out to me on ISUPK Jamaica Facebook page, Messenger. See? Because my phone with my WhatsApp down right now. The screen broke. You know what I mean? So, that down. See? So, just reach out to me on Facebook and I'm going to send you the link. You understand? Yeah, man. I understand. All right, so I'm going to jump back into this now. So I read back again. The 27th of September, find no trades except old slaves or children. 28th of October, purchase 4 slaves. So notice the ship, I know nobody no come out of the ship and go capture nobody. The Africans were bringing slaves to the white man. And this is a part of history where our people don't like to talk about. And this, all right. This is part of history whenever our people try to confront the white man about slavery, him rubbing our face to say, well, black people was selling black people into slavery. And you know what that do to you? That shut you up because you think you are African. So you automatically start blame black people for the slavery. When you never know, say, it wasn't you selling your own people, it was the Africans selling your people. You are not Africans. And if you knew this, go ahead, sir.
Hold your thought. If you knew this,
yeah,
hold your thought. I want Muta Baruka to respond to what you just said.
Right.
That was it. That was it. Salakia.
Yeah, man. Can. I something where him run from, you know, because here we go on now. We go up on him show already. You know what I mean? And as soon as you start bringing out some things in cut way off. So it seems like that brother don't want, you know what I mean? It been run from this type of information. You understand?
He's a Christian. He's a Christian.
Why behave like a Christian? But I think he refer to himself as a Pan-Africanist. You know what I mean? So
same thing.
Yeah, basically. So you know what I mean? He is a Pan-Africanist Christian. We pretend to be a Rastaman. And we will get to understand with enough of them so-called wise among our people here. Them not really know where them stand and them do it. It's a show and it's a means to make money. You understand? Them not really interested in teaching our people the truth. You understand? So, yeah, man, Muta, boy, I tell you. But anyway, Zane, yeah, what me that say is this. If you knew that it wasn't black people just merely selling black people into slavery, you would have had something for answer the white man whenever I mention that. But because you're not in the ISUPK like Officer Ayaza and myself, you don't know how to answer the white man. When the white man say black people, that sell black people and slave, you know what you say? Yeah, true, but we all are equal in God's sight. And that is madness. That is foolishness. If you didn't know, say it was the Africans, those heathens selling God's people, then you would have known, say all man no equal because we better than them. And out of bad mind, them sell we out in a slavery. And we are not no Africans. Then you could have answered the white man the right way. And then you would have confounded the white man. You understand? And then the white man would have to shut him mouth and kiss with boots, like what I'm doing at the ISUPK. You understand? When the white man encounter the ISUPK on the road, he have to kiss with boots. You understand? But because you don't know the truth, you have to, you know what I mean, concede to the white man. The white man said, black people was enslaving black people in Africa. And when you say, yeah, true, all right, you don't talk. Him shut you up because you don't know your history. You don't have nothing to say. But you think a white man could have come tell me that? You think the devil could have come tell me that about black people sell black people into slavery? You think the devil could have come tell Officer Ayazab that? He would have to eat back him words and would have teach him a little bit about his own history. And then we'd have teach him what in future holds and how he going to serve we into slavery. That's what we would have tell him. But because people want to be Christians, people want to be some weed head rasta, you don't know what to do when you encounter oppressor. You become him subordinate as soon as him come in front of you. Well, guess what? We don't look up to no white man in the ISUPK. The white man is the devil the Bible speak of, and we are better than the white man. You understand? As a matter of fact, we are God's chosen people. You know what I mean? Right. So we see things, Virgin. And we are not no funky, stinking, doodle eating African. Let's get back to this. Zin? All right. So him said, on the 28th of October, him purchased 4 slaves. Zin? The 28th of November, 2 girls down in the measles. So I'm going to list some things that take place on the slave ship. You know what I mean? The 2nd of December, wash the slaves fore and aft. If you know about ship, you have the after and you have the before. You know what I mean? So, yeah. So, the front of the ship and the back of the ship. You know what I mean? All right. I'm not going to read all of this. So, you know, a whole heap more than it. But as I say, Officer Azab, just reach out to me, man. Just send me a message. I'm a shot it across. See? Yeah, man. All right. I'm going to read some scripture, you know. Jump into some scripture.
Let me know what scripture you read. I'll read for you. All right,
THAWADAH, sir. All right, so we're up on the topic of reparation. So we're going to jump to Ecclesiasticus 40 and 28. What about sir?
40 and 28?
Can't answer.
All right.
In the meanwhile, everybody watching and just tap up the screen and share and follow. You know what I mean? Yeah, man.
This is the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 40 and verse 28. My son, lead not a beggar's life.
Right. So the most I tell we, don't lead a beggar's life. You asking for reparation is you begging. You know what I mean? You're begging the white man. Like, you know, what kind of money, what kind of monetary value you can put on with slavery? 400 years of slavery and systematic oppression and lynching. You know what I mean? Like we mentioned earlier, some white politician here in Jamaica, you know what I mean, was trying to get reparation and said that he want $4 billion for the slavery of black people in Jamaica. That's a disrespect. You know what I mean? It's a disrespect. What kind of monetary value you going to put on our suffering? You know what I mean? And you asking the oppressor is you begging. You know what I mean? Continue reading, sir. Baba Kosha.
For better is it to die than to beg.
Yeah, man. Better we dead than for beg this oppressor. For break we have a crumb off of the money we make off of our slavery. It's better we die. You understand? That is how ridiculous begging is. It's so shameful that it is better you die than to beg this oppressor. You know what I mean? We in the ISUPK, we not beg for no reparations. 1, because we know we not get it anywhere. So in 2, because the Most High have a reparation where him going to give we, and that is the rulership of this earth.
That's right.
That is enslaving this oppressor. You know what I mean? As a matter of fact, you know the scripture, he that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity.
It's Romans, I think.
Kind of one cancer. Let me see. Revelations 13. Kind of one cancer. 13 and yeah. Kind of one cancer.
This is the book of Revelation, chapter 13 and verse 9. If any man have an ear, let him hear.
Right. If you have an ear, meaning if you have understanding, you know what I mean? Listen to this. See? Read slacking.
Come. Verse 10. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity.
He that leadeth into captivity. You know what I mean? Who led black people into captivity? The white man. But let me explain to you further. Not just the white man. Them Africans, them Arabs, all of them. The main culprit is the white man, but them other nations, they are going into captivity too.
Right.
You understand? So he that leadeth into captivity must. It never say maybe. You understand? It never say, you know what I mean? If certain things, you know what I mean, happen, it say must go into captivity. See? Slakia, go ahead, sir.
He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword.
Yeah, man. He that killeth with the sword. Who kills with the sword? The white man. The scripture says Esau is blessed with the sword. You know what I mean? A sword is not merely just, you know what I mean, a long knife. The sword is the gun, the weapons of mass destruction, the fighter jets, all them things, they are swords. You know what I mean? This oppressor unalive with the sword. He must be unalive with the sword. Afiguan. You know what I mean? This white man is a virus on the face of the earth. He have to be eradicated. Right. You know what I mean? He have to go. In order for this earth come to some semblance of peace and normalcy, this virus called the oppressor have to go. You know what I mean? He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. You understand? Continue reading, sir. Baba Kosha. Here.
Here is the patience and the faith of the saints.
And this is what your Christian church now teach you. See? This said, he that leadeth into captivity must go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. And it go on to say, here is the patience of the saints. So if your church that teach you the right thing, them should have waited patiently for the white man going to slavery. You don't hear them talk about that. You don't hear your Christian church talk nothing about the oppressor being, you know what I mean, for pay for him crimes. This is what the saints are waiting for. This is what we should hope for. Hope that the person who bring us into captivity be led into captivity and be unalived by the sword. That is what we pray for every day in the ISUPK and the Commanding General YAHANNA. You understand? And that is what you should pray for. That is reparations. That is reparation. Reparation is not no $4 billion when your politicians are going to collect and then after them collect it, you don't see a red cent. All this reparation talk is a scam. Just another African ply. You know what I mean? All we know about the African scammer we reach out to in our email or some, you know what I mean, Facebook Messenger message claiming that, you know what I mean, them have some kind of way or something because they look some money. There's no bigger scam up on the earth than the white man and these Africans. You understand? So don't fall for this thing with Ghana say, boy, them want, you know what I mean, campaign for reparations. That's just them trying to profit a second time off of your slavery. You understand?
Right.
You know what I mean? I'll jump to another scripture. We're up on the time still. Let me see what time, you know. All right, we can close out shortly.
Silak, if I may.
Go ahead, sir.
What you're bringing out is heavy. I got a precept right here in Isaiah 49. I won't be long-winded. I just want to read that so that all people can get some form of comfort in the scriptures. You know what I mean? Because of all the evil that has been done to us, like you were saying, the scriptures prophesy the future of the oppressor
Yeah, man.
and all the oppressors and all these heathens. You know what I mean? This is the book of Isaiah.
You want me to read it? 49 and 23?
49 and 25.
Come on. Let me read it, sir. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 49 and verse 25. And it says, but thus saith the Lord. Even
Wait. Thus said who? Who's saying this?
These are the Most High.
That's it.
Karankan. Even the captives of the mighty shall be taken away.
You know what that means? Even the captives of the mighty, meaning all people are a great nation.
Right.
We had priests, we had lawyers, doctors, all of that stuff when they took us from Africa, you know what I mean, and sold us to the oppressor. Even the captives of the mighty, the men of the Lord, Yasha, princes and princesses of the power.
Damn right.
Go ahead.
Karankan. And the prey of the terrible shall be delivered.
And the prey of the terrible, the things that we had to endure. 99 million black people, so-called, died during the transatlantic slave trade.
Right.
99 million. Just let that sizzle in your spirit for a second. You know what I mean? Brothers and sisters watching this excellent class that my brother, Kayadawan, you know what I mean, is bringing out. You know what I mean? 99 million of us was murdered. You know what I mean? Just because people wanted to have profit and make money off of our backs and our slavery and our, you know what I mean, our talent, our gifts that the Lord gave us.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? Keep going.
For I will contend with him that contendeth with thee.
For the Lord is going to contend with all these murderers, man.
Right.
All these Africans. While you think you're an African and you are not, the Lord is going to destroy them. He's going to wipe them out the face of the earth. And he's going to choose you because he already chose you. He made that covenant with our ancestors, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob.
That's right.
Am I lying?
Yeah.
I bet any Christian can come and try to contend that, but they have no proof because they don't believe in the Bible.
That's right.
You know what I mean? Keep reading.
And I will save thy children.
And he will save who?
Thy children.
Blacks, Latinos, and First Nation people.
That's right.
We are God's chosen people.
That's
we are
right.
his children. You know what I mean? And he's going to make sure and be sure, like we've been taught under Commanding General YAHANNA, you know what I mean? That we rule this earth. Salake. That was it.
I don't know if you want Isaiah 49 and 23. I did have that queue up. Let me read it for you, sir.
No. Well, we both can go ahead on it.
No, we'll soon close off, but that does make a close off too. You know what I mean? Help me close off the class. You know what I mean? Because this day in the same vein, you know what I mean? So this is Isaiah 49 and 23, and it says, and kings shall be thy nursing fathers. You know what I mean?
Kings. All the kings, all the rulers, the presidents, the prime ministers, all these so-called leaders, you know what I mean? Of these other nations.
Right.
You know what I mean? Especially the white man. What we did for them, this is what, keep reading. I'm not going to jump ahead.
And their queens, thy nursing mothers.
Go ahead.
They shall bow down to thee with their face towards the earth.
This is what we use to ensure, like my brother was saying earlier on, in the ISUPK under Commanding General YAHANNA, established since 1969. When we go out in the streets, we use this scripture to make the oppressors, even Africans, bow down and kiss our boots, man.
That's right.
Because they know the evil that their people has done to us. You know what I mean? Our kings, and our princes, and our princesses, and our queens serve them. And what the scripture said, what we just read a while ago, he that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. You feel what I'm saying? Keep reading.
And if I may, that is what? That's justice. You know what I mean?
Justice. Damn right, brother. Damn right.
And lick up the dust of thy feet.
Yeah, you're going to kiss our feet, man. You're going to kiss it. You're going to kiss under the shoes. You're going to kiss the front of it, the back of it. Wherever we decide you're going to kiss, you're going to kiss it. But you're going to be bowing to us because you know that we are better people than you.
Right.
Keep going.
And let's not get it mistaken. When we say we are the Israelites, we're not talking about no Israeli. Those fake Jews, you know, because I see somebody post an Israeli flag that has nothing to do with us. Those fake Jews, right, you know what I mean, are the devil, the synagogue of Satan, and they will serve us. You know what I mean? Let's not mistake it. See, let's continue. And thou shalt know that I am the Lord.
And thou shalt know what now?
That I am the Lord.
The Lord is saying that in those times, which what we're living in right now, the ISUPK has proven this prophecy right here. Like, damn it. Because at the end of the day, ain't nobody can contend with the truth that we're bringing out, that my brother, K1, is bringing out right now. Nobody, not even Muta Baruka, I'm not going to call so many names, but a lot of, you know what I mean, evangelicals and Rastafarians, nobody can say that he's lying.
Right.
Nobody can say that what he's saying is not true. Nobody can contend with what we're saying because the Lord said it. And we're saying exactly what the Lord is saying. You know what I mean? Keep going.
For they shall not be ashamed that wait for me.
There you go. At the end of the day, we're not going to be ashamed.
Right.
You know what I mean? We're not going to be confounded. Because why? These records has been preserved so that we can learn our history, our identity, our culture, our heritage. You know what I mean? And anybody that come and try to tell us to do otherwise, we should let them know. Yo, check me out. Commander General YAHANNA already said this, and I'm going as far as saying the Most High in Christ already said that.
Right.
Commander General YAHANNA is just the leader of Blacks, Latinos, and First Nation people on the earth right now.
That's
just
right.
Like Moses was, just like Abraham was. Well, I wouldn't use Abraham, but I'll use, you know what I mean, Jeremiah and all the other prophets, Christ himself, our king. You know what I mean? A lot of them, a lot of our people, oh well, I ain't gonna follow man, I don't follow man, and what man say, nigga, you follow your woman. You know what? I ain't gonna use profanity. So like, you know what I mean? I ain't gonna use profanity. So like, but that was it.
Most in Christ, sir. You know what I mean? And would ask them a question too. Oh, your Christian church now bring out them here. This is Bible.
That's right.
You know what I mean? And for those who accuse us of using, you know what I mean, the white man's book. This sound like the white man book to you? This sound like the white man are going to slavery. You understand? This sounds like the white man are going to slavery. Would the white man write a book that condemns him to slavery? That's why we implore you, like what Officer Ayazaba said, get inside the ISUPK, make we teach you the Bible, how the Bible is written. I will show you what the Bible really has said. Them scripture you don't bring out in the Bible. You know why? Salakia, them scripture you don't bring out in the church. You know why? Because the church, the Christian church, is the continuation of white supremacy. So they pick and choose certain scriptures, and them scripture here will condemns the white man, them leave out. This is our book. We write this with the inspiration of the Most High. You understand? Our records. You understand? Right. Yeah, man. So now is the time to get back to your own records. This is your history. Right before you face this whole time, we are search all over the world. The scripture says, a foolish man goes around the world. You know what I mean? Search around the world instead of looking in front time. I paraphrase. You know what I mean? the scripture in front of you all this time, but because you look down on yourself, you never consider, say, maybe I am God's chosen people.
That's right.
You understand? Even though you see how wonderful your people are in comparison to other people, you just, because of the brainwashing of Christianity, you look down on yourself. You know what I mean? And that white Jesus make you think that, you know what I mean, a black person has no value. See? But we are telling you now in the ISUPK, say, you are a special people to the Most High. You know what I mean? The Most High love you above all nations of the earth. You see what the Jewish man are claim today, you have the fake Jew where claim that the world is the Goyam and Ray and Tete and Dima. Are we are God's chosen people? He must sit on our seat and pretend to be us. You understand? And look what he might do with it. He might be evil to the earth when we wouldn't be evil. We wouldn't have no Epstein. We wouldn't have no Netanyahu. You understand? We would have ruled the earth righteously. You say something, sir? Go ahead. Go ahead.
If I might may, Baba Bashar, what you're bringing out is super nuclear. Because even the scripture itself says when the righteous is in rulership, the people rejoice. And when the wicked beareth rule, which is Netanyahu and Donald Trump and all these people, you know what I mean? Even the local politicians in the Caribbean, in different islands, you know what I mean? When the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn. You know what I mean? The people are not happy when them people ruling because they don't have the best interests of the people at heart. Right. They care about their pocket. And if I may, just to help our brothers and sisters watching, to let you, brothers and sisters, man, in the Caribbean and in the diaspora everywhere, you know what I mean? This is what God said. You know what I mean? For our people to feel some form of relief, even if we live in hell, I'm going to read this real quick, brother. Go ahead. I'm going to get up of it. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 14 and verse 21. Prepare slaughter for his children.
Right.
You know what I mean? For the iniquity of their fathers. All these so-called heathens and so-called oppressors, you know what I mean, especially the Caucasoid, the colonizer, you know what I mean? This is what the Lord is saying. Prepare slaughter for them. Because there's going to come a day when you're not going to ask for $4 billion or $1 trillion. You're going to get them from wherever they are, and you're going to get rid of them because they're the real virus on the earth.
Right.
You're going to be the vaccine for the earth, blacks, Latinos, and First Nation people. You know what I mean? That they do not rise, nor possess the land, nor fill the face of the world with cities. They use our slavery to build their empire. That's not going to happen no more.
Right.
You know what I mean? When Yahweh Shai Mashiach comes back and crack that sky, you all think it's a fairy tale. You know what I mean? You all be on Netflix watching Stranger Things and stuff like that, and you all believe in that shit. You all believe in Marvel and all that shit. You all don't believe in the shit that the Lord put for us. You know what I mean? As a people. You know what I mean?
So like yes, sir. Them believe in some believe in the Anunnaki and aliens, but no one believe in a Christ. You know what I mean? Right. A black man coming back for rule this earth. You know, them believe in the Anunnaki and Nibiru and one bag of madness where some things where if you're not hype on weed, it not make no sense. And the only way that it makes sense if you're hype on some drugs. You know what I mean?
Right.
So you can't say it after all we bring out in the Bible. See, all the prophecies, all the things them we talk about what going to happen to the oppressor and them things they will no connect. You think the part where say Christ are going to come back, a black man named Yahweh Shai going to come back and rule this earth, you think that no connect to?
Right.
You know what I mean? I mean, the white man are prepared today for an alien invasion. We don't say the white man, no question that. You know what I mean? The white man are prepared for an alien invasion. Nobody thinks the white man is stupid. But when we say a black man named Yahweh Shai are going to come back and invade this earth, how it sound now when we say Christ are going to invade this earth? and take it over, and we have a rule under Christ. Oh, that song.
You know why? Because they love Christianity. They love to be comfortable. You know what I mean? They love to just relax and enjoy themselves and focus on their lusts. You know what I mean? That's our people, stiff-necked people. Moses said it. You know what I mean? Salam, brother.
Yeah, man, no sweat, sir. You know what I mean? Excellent breakdown a while ago. I think that unless you have no some final things to say, I think we can close off the class. See, Officer Baraka Allah in the chat. Yeah, shalom, sir. Yeah, you know what I mean? You understand? And let you have the final words. I would want to give the people before we jump to the security announcements. You know what I mean?
Now you two are go ahead, brother.
All right. So with that, we are going to close off the class. You know what I mean? To Officer Ayaza for jumping in on the live. You know what I mean? We're the ISUPK Jamaica under command in general. And we keep classes every Sunday 3 p.m. and every Wednesday 7 p.m. You understand? Make sure to tune in. And with that, we're going to jump to the security announcements. All right, these are the ISUPK security announcements. Where the ISUPK started out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under command in General YAHANNA. New rules for brothers and sisters. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. After 6 months, if a brother or a sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which a brother or sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother or sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. You can find this in the book of Numbers chapter 18 and verse 21 and Malachi chapter 3 verse 8 to 10. It means tenth in the Hebrew and is pronounced ma'aishara. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, give to the Treasury Department or teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory, whatsoever amount you'd like. All right, so remember to go over to isupk.com and pay your tithes, and I mean donate to the school. See, you see what Command in General YAHANNA does with tithes money. See, we feed blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. You understand? With the clothing drives, with the food drives, all across the world. You understand? So pay your tithes, send in your donation. You understand? Upcoming Holy Convocation. So the next Holy Convocation is the memorial of the blood of the trumpets. And I mean, just stay tuned with ISUPK for that. See? What you have to find out in this school is that we don't celebrate Christmas. You know what I mean? We don't celebrate Valentine's Day. We don't celebrate Easter. You know what I mean? Like the Christian church. You understand? All of those are not in the Bible. But what is in the Bible is the memorial of the blowing of the trumpets. You understand? The Passover, the Feast of First Fruits. You understand? We keep those holy days because that is what the Most High gave to us, to our people. You understand? So just keep in tune with the ISUPK, you know what I mean, to be in sync with, you know what I mean, with the Most High. You know what I mean? Yeah, man. All right. So reminding Akiem and Aquatium to check on social media such as isupk.com, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and so on for ISUPK events and materials. If a brother wants to be a trooper in the school, then he's to start wearing all black, which includes black boots, shirt, pants, headband, or scarf. And with that, we're going to give one courtesy salute. Men of Israel, I'm Mariam. I'm Mariam Shabbat. I'm Mariam Barak. Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Barakatah. Yadamata. Class dismissed. All right, THAWADAH for coming through, sir. You know what I mean? You know, THAWADAH class, you know the thing go. I go send class that thing up on Facebook. Just remember, my phone down there now, so if you reach out to me, just reach out to me upon that. Yeah.
God, no sweat. THAWADAH, brother.
I am the bar, sir. Most time Christ. And with that, shalom.
Shalom.
Word up, man. Voting ain't gonna help us, man. Marching ain't gonna help us, man. Protesting ain't gonna help us, man.
What it's like for a nigga like me.
Like me, like me, like me.
What it's like for a nigga like me.
Like me.
What it's like for a nigga like me.
Like me.
What it's like for a nigga like me.
Like me.
What it's like for a nigga like me. Gray skies overhead, this isn't looking likely, but I try to do the right thing like Spike Lee, and I talk to God, the one and almighty. Lord, please have mercy on me.
Have mercy on me. Yeah.
Lord, please have mercy on me.
Have mercy on me.
Have mercy on
Man, this
me.
shit ain't no joke, man. This shit ain't no joke. Like the boy cried wolf, I ain't blowing no smoke. You don't gotta look far to see it ain't no hope in this fucked up world. I'm just trying to stay afloat. I grew up in the ghetto in the middle of the streets, HELL, the belly of the beast. Thanksgiving came around, I wasn't having no feast when the landlord talking about breaking our lease. Goddamn, what's next? My girl broke with your boy and she did it in the text that if I couldn't have nothing that I could have love besides love for the money and selling these drugs. Sometimes it seems like it's the only way out, but every day I'm getting older and it's getting played out. Can't end up in the pen